Okay, lamai. Sandil, yeah, your marks are okay, bit. Okay, I thought go be the student of like getting 30, 40 marks. You have got 65, right? It's better. Good. Okay. Did you copy something from notes? No. Then it's good mark. Fair mark, lama. Right. Ayatmi, you can improve. Okay. Not bad, but it's not good. Okay, the lama can improve. Right. Sitmo also. Punara also. Right. Okay, lama. That's the end of term test. Right. Today, lama, I'm going to discuss this deposit contraction process. Okay, the lama. In this world, lama, everything has some opposite. Okay, the lamai. So deposit expansion, the opposite is contraction. If banking system has excess reserves, banking system can create two deposits. Okay, causing a deposit expansion process. If banking system has shortage of reserves, banking system does not have enough reserves, the banking system, okay, the lamai, there will be deposit contraction. Contraction from total deposits in banking system reduce, starts to contract. Okay, the lamai reduce. That is called deposit contraction. Okay, right. Page number 21. Sorry, 31. Lama, any doubt in money and banking? What we have covered so? Any doubt on what we have covered? Lamai?
Mm. No, sir.
Deposit contraction. 1 minute, I'll share. Right. That read the point. I think you can see the screen. Uh, the multiple deposit contraction. Forget these 4 points now. Limitation of action. I'll complete this part with 2011 A-level paper question. Right? There's a direct question for these limitations of deposit action. Yes, I'll do it. Right? Don't worry. Don't worry. Otherwise, I'll have to explain everything again. Right? Multiple deposit contraction. In the question.
Sir,
Saru.
we didn't wrote those 4 points.
4 points.
Yes, sir.
No, Puta, I'll complete it with 2000 A level 11 A level paper question. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Right. That's a small four parts. Now I'll do it. Uh, multiple deposit contraction process. Multiple deposit contraction. Right. The process of multiple deposit expansion can also work in the opposite direction. Highlight if you can. The process of multiple deposit expansion can also work in the opposite direction. Opposite direction is called multiple deposit contraction. Okay, the lamai. This can be explained by the following example. Assume that the following banking system consists of three commercial banks. Three commercial banks. Okay, the lamai. Three commercial banks, namely X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and okay, it's not given lamai. Better to write down. Right now, lamai. What are the three commercial banks? X, Y, and Z. Right? Operating under the 20% statutory reserve ratio. Right? All banks are required to maintain 20% of statutory reserve ratio. Okay, the lamai. Right, this is the process in bank X, round number one. Balance sheet of bank X, you can see lamai, deposit liability 1000, reserves 200, loans 800. Now lamai, assume that a deposit holder with right. Before moving to this deposit withdrawing part, lamai, tell me now at this moment, does this commercial bank have excess reserves, Lama? Can you calculate and tell me how much excess reserves of commercial bank at this moment, Lama? Calculate excess reserves, Lama. Sandil, can you calculate excess reserves, Nara? And tell me the value of excess reserves in this bank right now.
0.
0. Any different answer, Ayatmi? 0. Yes, Lamai. This bank does not have excess reserves. Why, Lamai? SRR rate is 20%. SRR rate is 20%. So deposit amount 1000 Lamai, 20% of 1000 mean 200. That required part is only required part is kept as reserves by this bank Lamai. It's 100, so no excess. Okay, the Lamai. So this bank or banking system is operating without excess reserve. Okay, the lamai. That is the main part in this contraction process. Trust banking system is operating without excess reserves. All banks maintain the reserves which equals to required part lamai. Okay, the lamai. Right. Now what happens? Assume that a deposit holder withdraws 100 when this 100, yeah, when this bank does not have excess reserves, right? One customer or deposit holder comes and withdraws how much, lamai? 100 rupees from his account. Okay, the lamai. After this transaction, how does balance sheet change? Can you tell me, lamai? How does balance sheet change? One customer comes and withdraws 100 rupees from his bank account. Okay, the lamai. After this withdrawal of 100 rupees, 100 rupees, how does balance sheet change? 900. Unara, what is the what are the changes happening in the balance sheet? Anyone? I'm asking this question, Lama. You have already completed this deposit 100, reserves 100, reduces by 100, right? Unara, Ayatmi. Sachini, good evening, Daru. We have
Both deposits and reserves.
reserves decreased by 100. Right. Yes. Good. First step is write down Lamai deposits. The transaction changes the bank's balance sheet as follows. Write down Lamai. Uh, deposits decrease by 100 because customer withdraws 100 rupees. Second step is Lamai reserves, or reserves mean asset Lamai. Reserves or reserves decrease by 100. This is the double entry, not the double entry. The impact on the balance sheet after the press transaction. Now you can prepare the new the balance sheet Lamai, right? The balance sheet after these two changes. Okay, the Lamai. This is the balance sheet of banking system, sorry, ex-commercial bank. Total deposits Lamai, total deposits. Original value is 1000 Lamai. Now deposit holder has withdrawn 100. So total deposit amount should be 900. Okay, the Lamai. And reserves also reduces Lamai. Reserves, how much the reserves amount? Original one is 200. Original one is 200. Now, when paying, right? When paying 100 rupees deposit holder, okay, the Lamai, when he withdraws money, bank's reserves reduces, okay, the Lamai, by 100. Then after this transaction, total reserve should be 100. Loans do not change. Loans not given, right? Yeah, loans there. Loans, how much? Loan doesn't change. Loan value is 800 Lamai. Okay, then balance sheet get balanced 900. Any doubt? Any doubt, Lamai? This is the balance sheet after withdrawing. Soon after the customer withdraws his deposit, 100 deposit from his bank account. Any doubt? Lamai, are you clear? Nara, Sitma?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. Then Lamai, can you calculate? Now Lamai, you can see the total deposit amount 900 Lamai. Total deposit amount is 900. How much the required reserves for 900 deposits Lamai? Can you tell me? 900 deposits, 900 into 20%. How much? Now Lamai, this bank has to hold 180. This bank has to hold how much? 180 reserves Lamai. 180 required reserves, statutory reserves. But unfortunately, Lamai, this bank has reserves of 100. This situation is called shortage of reserves, right? Bank is running out of reserves. Did you get the point? This is totally illegal. Can you remember? Totally illegal. Banking system cannot continue, right? Operations like this. Okay, the Lamai. So bank has to uh, immediately, okay, the Lamai, complete this shortage of reserves. Lamai. Did you get the point? Right? So this situation is called after this deposit withdrawal, the required reserve is 180, but now the actual reserves is 100. Then there's a shortage out of reserves, right? Shortage of reserves of 80. This is called shortage of reserves or deficit in reserves. Okay, Dalama, can you calculate the total deficit or shortage of reserves after this transaction? Uday, you can use the original equation, no issue. Excess reserves equals that part. No need separate equation for deficit in reserves. You can use the original equation that you have equation that you have been using Lama for 1, 2, 3, right? Excess reserves equals, look at the board, I'll do it Lama. Excess reserves equals actual reserves minus statutory reserves. Lamai, actual reserves now it's 100. Statutory reserves Lamai 900 into 20%, right? Actual reserves is 100. Statutory part is 180. So you can see excess reserves is minus Lamai. Excess reserves is minus mean Lamai. It's the type of shortage of it, right? Within bracket, write down the deficit. Deficit in reserves. Deficit in. Okay, then. I think this equation is simple because as you have practiced this, right? Minus excess mean deficit. Any doubt, Lama? Any doubt? Deficit in reserves in bank
Okay.
X after the above transaction. Clear, right? Okay. ළමයි මොකක් හරි issue එකක් තියෙනවා නම් කියන්න කටවහන් ඉන්න එපා. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයා මෙහෙම හිතනවා නම් පස්සේ කවර් කරගන්නවා වීඩියෝ හදනවා. ඔයා ක්ලාස් එකටත් ඇවිල්ලා එහෙම එනවද ළමයි? Right. Now next step. Now what happens, ළමයි? Uda, read this part very carefully. Now this bank faces the problem where it cannot maintain the minimum. You can highlight, it cannot maintain the minimum reserves needed for its deposits. So bank X is an urgency to, it's urgent to recover its reserves as real reserves has fallen. Okay, Dalamai. Now bank has to immediately complete or fill this gap or this shortage or deficit in reserves. This bank has to, this is the option Lamai. This bank has to ask person who has borrowed money from this bank to repay his loan 80 million. මෙයාට මේක විතරයි තියෙන ළමයි. එයාට කියන්න වෙනවා මොකද්ද? ලෝන්ස් නේ. එක තියෙන. එයාට කියන්න වෙනවා ලෝන්ස් ගත්ත කෙනාට ළමයි. ඔයා ඉක්මනට ඔයාගේ ඉන්ස්ටෝල්මන්ට් එක පේ කරන්න 80 million. Clear the lamai. This bank has to ask person who has borrowed money from the bank, this bank to repay his loan of how much lamai? 80 million. Did you get the point, lamai? Are you okay with that point? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Assume that borrower repays the loan by, is the point, lamai, by a check written against the account held by another bank, bank Y, okay, which reduces of reserves of bank Y while increase in reserves in bank X. At the word Lama, I'll do. Lama, what does it mean? Now, bank X ask, let's say person A or someone, person A who has borrowed funds from or loans from this bank. Okay, bank asks this person to pay how much, Lama? 800 million or 80, sorry, not 800, 80 to the bank, Lamai. You get the point? Now here we assume, Lamai, person does not have cash in hand. Person has another current account. Understand the point? Person has another current account in bank Y, in another commercial bank. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ මේ loan එක මේ ගත්ත කෙනාට තව account එකක් තියෙනවා bank Y වල current account. එයා මොකද කරන්නේ ළමයි? මෙයා ලියනවා check එකක් ළමයි. On the check, person A, the person who has borrowed funds from bank X, writes a check against this bank. Okay, the lamai. Remember, his bank, sorry, he has current account in bank Y. Okay, the lamai. Then he gives an order, right? He says he orders bank Y to pay how much lamai? 80 million to bank X. හරිද? එතකොට මේකේ මොකද්ද ළමයි check එකේ ලියන්නේ? 80 million. Pay 80 million to bank Y. Sorry, X. Okay ද ළමයි? bank X එකට pay කරන්න කියලා කියනවා ළමයි. හරිද? right. ඊට පස්සේ මේ එතකොට මේ check එක තමයි ළමයි bank X ට දෙන්නේ. නේද ළමයි? මෙයා මේ check එක bank X ට දෙනවා. හරිද? bank X කරන්නේ මොකද්ද ළමයි? මේ check එක අරගෙන යනවා bank Y වලට. Then finally what happens ළමයි? Bank Y has to pay how much? 80 million to bank X in the check clearing process. Clear the llama? In the check clearing process. In the check clearing process. In the check clearing process. Okay. Then finally what happens? In the check clearing process, bank Y reserves, right? Bank Y's reserves are going to be transferred to bank X. Clear the lamai? Balana clear the kila? Then what happens? In second step, write down. Then finally lamai, bank X reserves increases, yes, right? Then in bank X, reserves increases by how much lamai? 80, yeah? Person A pays 80 million. Okay, the lamai, 80. And lamai, what happens to loans on the other hand? Loan amount also decreased by 80. අයි ළමයි මේ 800 වලින් 80 pay කරලානේ person A check එක. ඒතකොට ආයෙ යාට මේ liability එකක් නැහැනේ. clear ද ළමයි? එයා ආයෙ මේ 80 pay කරන්නේ නැහැනේ. එතකොට loan bank එකට loan එක තියෙන්නේ ආයෙ 800 නෙමෙයි 720. clear ද ළමයි? Then in bank X, reserves increases by 80, loan decreases by 80. This is a second. This happens in the check clearing process. Remember, what are these reserves? Okay, this 800 reserves coming from bank Y in the check clearing process. Did you get the point, Lamai? Sitma, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the Lamai. Right now, Lamai, after this transaction, Uda, can you write this down?
So why there's no impact on deposits?
Deposits are not changed, right? This transaction does not change deposits because person A has repaid his loan. That's it. It does not affect deposit. Because person, the loan holder, no, 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 no. No, no. අරක අර second step එක බලන්න කියලා deposit expansion process එකේ. ඇයි යා loan එක issue කරාට loan එක sorry මේ අර excess reserves එක loan එකට issue කරාට through deposit එයා ළමයි ඕක withdraw කරගන්න ඕනේ ළමයි check එකක් ලියලා. එතකොට කොහොමත් ඔය අයින් වෙනවා. second step එක මතකද ළමයි? So the second step. Third step in money creation process in banking system. Deposits decreases by some amount and reserves also decreases. Clear the lamai? Make it no impact on deposits. Okay, the lamai. Right. Then write this down. Reserves increase by 80 and loans decrease by. Okay, the lamai. Then after this transaction, balance sheet of bank X changes. Balance sheet of bank X changes. Balance sheet of bank X changes. Balance sheet of bank X. Lamai, deposits how much? Deposits 900. Deposits 900 reserves ළමයි. reserves එයාට 100 තිබුණේ දැන් bank Y වලින් 100 ආව sorry 80 ආව ළමයි. then 100 plus 80 100 plus 80 total deposits or reserves of bank X now is how much ළමයි 180. okay the ළමයි loans how much loans original loan amount 800. Now person A has already repaid the loan of 800. So now bank has a loan, the asset, right? The new loan asset of how much lamai? 780. Sorry, 720. 800 minus. Okay, the lamai. Then balance sheet of bank X gets balanced 900. හරිද ළමයි? බලන්න clear ද කියලා. මේක second step එක. second balance sheet. second step. Okay ද ළමයි? Now you can see lamai in bank X balance sheet, no excess reserves, no shortage of it. Calculate 900 into 20%, how much lamai? Reserves is, the required reserve amount is 180. It's there. Okay, the lamai. That value is there. Now bank has fulfilled the required reserves requirement. Now bank X is safe. No issue. Now bank X does not have any problem with shortage of reserves or deficit in reserves. Okay, Lamai. Now bank X is safe, but the bank X is safe. Yes, bank X has fulfilled its deposits, but remember, Lamai. Now bank Y has a problem of deficit in reserves. Lamai. You get the point, right? Can you complete this one, Lamai? Okay, I'll. Apudaka, have you completed this one? Yes. Others? Sigma, Sandil, Ayatmi. Sandil, Hari the Maker. Dear the Water. Heather. Sachini, Ayatmi.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Right.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the highlighted part. Okay, the Lamai. Itma, are you okay? Do you need more time?
Okay, sir. Done.
Right. Okay. Next step, Lamai. Now I'm going to discuss the process in bank Y. This process does not end, Lamai. Keeps going until this shortage of reserves becomes zero. Right? Right. Then, Lamai, bank processing bank Y. Initial balance sheet of bank Y. Initial balance sheet means original one, Lamai. Huh? Before any transaction. Initial balance sheet of bank Y is given below. Deposits 800, reserves 180, loans 640 lamai. Now what happens? As a result of above transaction mean transaction took place in bank X. Clear the lamai? As a result of above transaction, both reserves and deposits fall. Both reserves and deposits fall. So that initial balance sheet of bank Y changes as follows. It's not given now. It's better to write down. Put this is the first step in bank. First step in bank.
Excuse me, sir.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Now what happens, Samay? The loan amount is 640. This is the original balance sheet of bank. Why? 800, 800. As a result of press transaction took place in bank X, reserves of this bank Y's reserves, part of reserves are transferred to already transferred to bank X. So bank Y reserves decreases by 80. අයිලම මෙයාගේ රිසර්ව්ස් වලින් සෙන්ට්‍රල් බැංක් එක මේ 80 reduce කරලා තමයි බැංක් X එකට ඇඩ් කළේ. ඒතර බැංක් X එකේ අර රිසර්ව් රික්වයර්මන්ට් එක fulfill වෙනවා. හැබැයි මෙතනින් අඩු වෙනවනේ ළමයි 80. Clear ළමයි? And also deposit because person who had borrowed funds from Press Bank, okay the ළමයි, wrote a check against this bank. Okay the ළමයි. That current the person A had the current account in bank Y. Okay the lamai. So after this the payment deposit amount also decreases. How much? Here 800 minus 80. Okay the lamai. Put a write down this transaction. This is original balance sheet. This is original balance sheet. Okay the lamai. Now what happens? This is the transaction. Deposits decreases by 80. Reserves decreases by 80. Clear the lamai. After this transaction, this is the balance sheet of bank Y balance sheet. Prepare the balance sheet lamai. Now the total deposit value is how much lamai? 800 minus 80. ඇයි ළමයි අර ලෝන් එක මම කියන එක ඔයාලට ක්ලියර් ඇති නේද? ලෝන් එක ගත්ත කෙනා එයා ඒක පේ කරේ මොකෙන්ද? චෙක් එකක් ඉෂුව කළානේ බැංක් Y එකට. එයාගේ කරන්ට් account එක තිබ්බේ බැංක් Y වල. මම කියන එක ඔයාලට ක්ලියර් ඇති. හරිද? බැංක් Y වල. හරිද? දැන් එතකොට බැංක් Y එක අර පර්සන් A ගේ ලෝන් හෝල්ඩර් ගේ චෙක් එකට පේමන්ට් එක කරලා ඉවරයි ළමයි. ඒකනේ මෙතන රිසර්ව්ස් ඩික්‍රීස් වෙන්නේ. ඒ වගේම මේ බැංක් එකට ළමයි තවත් ඒ අර පර්සන් A ට ලයබිලිටි එකක් නැහැනේ ළමයි. ඩිපොසිට් ලයබිලිටි එකක් නැහැ. පේමන්ට් එක කරලා ඉවරයි ළමයි. That's why the deposit amount decreases. Okay the ළමයි. Then here the new deposit value should be 720. Right? Reserves how much ළමයි? 160 minus 80. 160 minus 80. So reserve should be 80. Loans do not change. Loans do not change. Loan amount is how much? 640. Balance sheet gets balanced 720. ලියද බලන්න ළමයි 720. Now ළමයි, this bank faces the problem of deficit in reserves ළමයි. Okay, පුතා complete this balance sheet and you can calculate the deficit in reserves or shortage of reserves in bank Y now, right? Though bank X has fulfilled its reserves requirement, bank bank Y hasn't completed that. Now bank Y has a problem ළමයි. Can you calculate reserves deficit in reserves in bank Y? ඇයි ළමයි 720 බලන්න 720 නේ deposit 720 වලට බලන්න 20%. How much required part ළමයි? දැන් තියෙන්නේ bank Y එකේ deposit 720. Yes. bank Y එකේ තියෙන deposit 720. 720 වලට 20% කියන්නේ මට පොඩ්ඩක් කවුරු හරි කියන්න ළමයි 720 into 20%.
148, sir.
100
144.
44. 144. ඒ කියන්නේ ළමයි bank Y එක 720 deposits වලට required reserves තියාගන්න ඕන කොච්චරද ළමයි 144 clearද හැබැයි reserves කොච්චරක් තියෙන ළමයි 80 තියෙන පොඩි issue එකක් තියෙනවා පොඩි නෙමෙයි ලොකු issue එකක් තියෙනවා යාට දැන් එයාට මේ bank එක කරගෙන යන්න බෑ ළමයි clearද එයාගේ minimum required reserves නැහැ clearද ළමයි how much a shortage the requirement is 140 actual reserves is 80 the gap is 64. Now bank Y has a problem of how much shortage of reserves of 64. You can use the equation lamai, no issue. Write down excess reserves equals but the equation එක ළමයි actual reserves minus statutory reserve. Alright, excess reserves, yes, actual reserves in bank Y is 80 minus statutory part lamai 720 into 20%. 720 into 20%. 80 minus 144. It's mean my bank Y has shortage of reserves of minus 64. Minus 64 excess mean lamai. This should be shortage of reserves. Should be shortage of reserves. Shortage. Okay, the lamai. Now bank Y has to immediately fulfill the minimum required reserve part. Okay, the lamai. Now bank Y is in big trouble lamai. You get the point? I කියනවා bank Y එකේ original balance sheet එක තමයි ළමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. දැන් bank Y bank X එකට payment එකක් කරානේ. ඒ හින්දා reserves decrease වෙනවා 80 වලින් reserves decrease වෙනවා 80 වලින්. මේ transactions ඒ කියන්නේ මේ deposits and reserves decrease වුණාට පස්සේ balance sheet එක තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ ළමයි. clearද? හැබැයි මෙතන මේ balance sheet එකේ පොඩි අවුලක් තියෙනවා. මොකක්ද අවුල ළමයි? balance sheet එක පොඩ්ඩක් illegal. clear ද ළමයි? ඒ කියන්නේ යාගේ minimum required reserves එක නෑ balance sheet. හරිද? මේ 64 shortage එකක් තියෙනවා. දැන් මෙයාට මේක fulfill කරන්න වෙනවා. එයාට වෙන කරන්න දෙයක් නෑ. මොකක්ද option එක ළමයි? මේක තමයි තියෙන option එක. මෙයාගේ practically ඕක කොහොම නෑ ළමයි. දැන් මේ balance sheet එකේ අපේ තියෙන reserves and loans විතරනේ. practically ළමයි යාට investments තියෙනවා. securities. හරි එතකොට එයා කරන්නේ loans recall කරන්නේ නෑ. එයා කරන්නේ අර investments sell කරලා දානවා. අර treasury bills treasury bonds ඒවා තියෙනවනේ ඒවා sell කරන්න පුළුවන් sell කරාම සල්ලි එනවනේ තේරෙනවද සල්ලි එනකොට මේ reserves part එක increase වෙනවනේ දැන් මේ balance sheet එකේ loans විතරයි තියෙන්නේ option එකේ තියෙන එකම option එකයි තියෙන්නේ මොකද්ද මේ loan දුන්න කෙනාට කියන්න වෙනවා ළමයි right loan එක කියන එක දෙනවා ඒක විතරයි මේ අර මේක අපි හරි simplified balance sheet එකක් ගන්න ළමයි නම් මේක ටිකක් අමාරුයි කියන එක තේරෙනවද practically මේක ගොඩක් අඩුයි වෙනවා තේරෙනවද practically bank එකකට අර මැද තියෙන ඇසෙට් එක මතකද? මෙන්න මෙතන තියෙනවා පාර්ට් එකක් ඉන්වෙස්ට්මන්ට්ස් කියලා සිකියුරිටීස් කියලා. හරිද? 50% අර නිකන් 50-50 වගේ ලික්විඩිටි තියෙනවා ප්‍රොෆිටබිලිටි තියෙනවා. ක්ලියර්ද? ඒක ඒ පාර්ට් එක තමයි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ප්‍රැක්ටිකලි යූස් කරන්නේ. හැබැයි මේකේ අර ලෝන්ස් විතර වට අර ප්‍රොසෙස් එක කියලා දෙන්න ඕන හින්දා තමයි අපි ලෝන්ස් විතරක් අරන් තියෙන්නේ. නේද ළමයි? අපි මේ තව කැල්කියුලේෂන්ස් ඉස්සරහට තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේ කතා කරමු බැලන්ස් කරන්න. හරිද? එතකොට මෙයාට මේක ෆිල් කරන්න තියෙන එක ඔප්ෂන් එකයි මොකක්ද? වෙන මොකක් කරන්නද ළමයි? සෙන්ට්‍රල් බැංක් එක කියනවා වගේ රිසර්ව්ස් මදි ඉක්මනට ෆුල්ෆිල් කරන්න නැත්නම් වගේ ලයිසන් එක කැන්සල් කරන්න. එයාට කලබලේ දඟලලා ඉතින් එකයි තියෙන්නේ මොකද්ද? ලෝන් එක ගත්ත කෙනාට පේ කරන්න. ක්ලියර්ද ළමයි? හරිද? හරි? Bank Y ask person who has borrowed fund from bank Y to repay the loan. How much? The loan amount 64. මේක තිබුණා නම් ඇති. හරිද? එයා කියනවා right 64 එයා පේ කරන්න ඉක්මනට පේ කරන්න. ක්ලියර්ද ළමයි? බලන්න මේක මෙතෙන්ට ක්ලියර්ද කියලා නැත්තම් කිය සන්දීන්. කුණාරා සිත්ම හරිද? ෂුවර් නේද?
Clear, sir.
හරි. Now ළමයි assume person C has taken a loan from bank Y. Okay, right. Okay, the ළමයි. This is the person who has borrowed fund from bank Y. Now bank Y asks person C to repay the loan of 64 million. 64. Okay, the ළමයි. දැන් C කරන්නේ මොකද්ද ළමයි? එයා ගාව සල්ලි නැහැ. එයා කරන්නේ මොකද? හැබැයි යාට කරන්ට් account එකක් තියෙනවා කොහෙද? X වලත් නෙමෙයි Y වලත් නෙමෙයි Z වල. ක්ලියර්ද? බිස්නස් වලට බලන්න ළමයි කොච්චර කයම බැංක් එකේම කරන්ට් account තියෙනවා. ක්ලියර්ද ළමයි? වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද? බැංක් C sorry person C කරන්නේ මොකද්ද ළමයි? කෝල් එකක් දීලා බැංක් එක ලෝන් එක පේ කරන්න කිව්වම එයා කරනවා. එයා අතේ ඕක දැන් ATM ගානේ යන්න රයිට් මං ගාව කර මේ චෙක් පොත තියෙනවා කරන්ට් account එක හැබැයි Z වල තියෙන්නේ. චෙක් එකක් ලියනවා මේ Z බැංක් එකට. එයා Z බැංක් එකට රික්වෙස්ට් කරනවා ළමයි. ඕඩර් එකක් දෙනවා. මොකක්ද එයා කියන්නේ? බැංක් Z ඒකනේ චෙක් එකකින් කරන්න ළමයි. නේද? Bank has to pay the ordered amount, requested amount by current account holder. Clear the lamai. Bank Z is liable to pay that amount 64. Okay the lamai. ඊට පස්සේ bank Z sorry මේ person C කියන bank Z එකට 64 ඉක්මනට bank Y එකට pay කරන්න. Clear the lamai. එතකොට bank Z වලට bank Y වලට 64 pay කරන්න වෙනවා. Clear? හැබැයි ඕක වෙන්නේ කොහෙද? අර check clearing process. සෙන්ට්‍රල් බැංක් එක කරන්නේ ළමයි චෙක් ක්ලියරින් ප්‍රොසෙස් එකේ මොකද කරන්නේ? Z බැංක් එකේ රිසර්ව්ස් වලින් 64 අයින් කරලා ළමයි ඒ 64 ඇඩ් කරනවා මෙතෙන්ට බැංක් Y එකට. තේරුණාද? එතකොට බැංක් Y එකේ රික්වයර්මන්ට් එක ඕකේ. හැබැයි මේක නතර වෙන්නේ ළමයි Z එකට මේ ෂෝටේජ් එකක් හදලා. මම කියන එකට තේරෙන්නේ නැති. හරිද? ඇයි එයාගෙත් එක්සස් නෑනේ ළමයි. හරියටම බැංකින් එක බැංක් එකකටවත් එක්සස් නෑ. හරියටම දින රික්වයර්ඩ් එක. හරි එතකොට පේමන්ට් එකක් කරපු ගමන් රිසර්ව්ස් පොඩ්ඩක් විත්ඩ්‍රෝ වුණ ගමන් එයාට මාර අවුලක් යනවා. හරිද? දැන් මේක අපි අර කෙනෙකුට හිතෙන්න පුළුවන් මේක හරි ප්‍රැක්ටිකල් නෑ නෑ. මේක ළමයි සමහර වෙලාවට සෙන්ට්‍රල් බැංක් එක ආටිෆිෂලි ක්‍රියේට් කරනවා ෂෝටේජ් එක. ඒ කියන්නේ ඩිපොසිට්ස් කන්ට්‍රැක්ට් කරන්න ඕනේ නහම මනි සප්ලයි එක වැඩි කියලා හිතුනහම ඔටෝමැටිකලි ඒ කියන්නේ අපි ඉස්සරහට කතා කරමු කොහොමද කරන්නේ කියලා. තමයි ඇත්තටම මොනිටරි පොලිසි කියන්නේ. එයාට පුළුවන් මේ ඒක අපි ඉස්සරහට කතා කරමු. ඒක ලොකු ප්‍රොසෙස් එකක්. මේක ක්ලියර්ද බලන්න? හරිද ළමයි? right? Now read this part, read this. ළමයි balance sheet එක හරියද? X වල sorry. Y and then ළමයි. Now this bank faces the problem where it cannot maintain the minimum risk. ළමයි this is bank Y නේද? There's a small problem, right? Faces the problem where it cannot maintain the minimum reserves needed for its deposits. So bank Y is an urgent to recover its reserves as real reserves has fallen. This bank has to ask person who has borrowed money from this bank to repay his loan 8 in a minute. Can you correct it as 64? Not 8. 64. හරි නේද ළමයි? See? assume that borrower repays the loan by checks written against the current account held by another bank, bank Z, which reduces the reserves, if you want, right? Which reduces the reserves of bank Z while increases in reserves in bank Y. Clear the line? Balance sheet of bank Y and Z changed by above transaction, but impacts on bank Y balance sheet shown below. Clear the line? Right, this is the balance sheet of bank Y. Balance sheet of bank Y. Now lamai, in bank Y, how much after this transaction, after this check clearing transaction, what happens lamai? Bank Y's balance sheet, make a change in lamai. Bank Y's balance sheet. හරිද ළමයි? The balance sheet of bank Y. මම ඉස්සරට ගියේ නෑ ළමයි තාම. හරිද? Deposits do not change. 720. හරිද ළමයි? Reserves increases by 64. Now 80 plus 64 ළමයි. This reserves 64 coming from bank Z in the check clearing process. Now total reserves is 144. Loans, what happens to loans lamai? Loans decreases, right? Loan amount decreases. Loan 640 minus 64, because lamai person C has already paid 64 loan amount lamai, right? Okay, so this 64 is no longer, it's not asset. Clear? Then how much the value here lamai? Can you tell me? 500 76 the lamai. The හරි නේද ළමයි? නැද්ද? 720. But am I correct? The value 720 ළමයි?
Yes, sir.
Yes, correct. Thank you. Then you can see ළමයි. පුතා let me know once you are done. Complete all. This is the final balance sheet of bank Y.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay. And total deposit should be 720. 720. හරිද? Reserves should be How much lamai? 144. Lamai, there is an asset or loan here, not given. Loan, loan, loan. The amount is how much lamai? 576. And total liability value is 120. Total asset value was lamai. Others all have completed. Haven't you?
Done, sir.
Done. Okay. Then lamai, I'm not going to discuss this process further. Why? The same process continues going, right? Then this is a summary of the process happening in the balance banking system. You can see bank X withdrawal of deposit. Can you remember? First person withdrew how much lamai? 100 lamai. Then withdrew 100 deposits, creating deficit in reserves in bank X of 80. Okay, so the shortage of reserves in bank X, which was created by withdrawal of 100. Okay, the lamai is 80, was 80. Then lamai, then recalling of loans 80, right? To cover up this 80 deficit in reserves, bank X had to recall loans of 80. Then bank Y withdrawal of deposits 80. Okay, the lamai. Then it created a deficit in bank Y. It's 64. To fulfill 64, the shortage of reserves, bank Y has to recall loans of 64. Okay, the lamai. Then it affects bank Z. Bank Z reserves falls by how much lamai? 64. Then now bank Z has a problem of shortage of reserves of 51.2. Okay, the lamai. We haven't discussed that part. Third step, third process in banking system. Okay, we've completed only 3 parts, right? 3 steps. Then lamai, this process continues. Process continues until shortage of reserves becomes zero. දැන් මේකේ shortage එක එන්නේ අඩු වෙනවනේ වාට පේනවද ළමයි? Deficit in reserves 80, 64, 51.2. ඊට පස්සේ බලන්න 51.2 වලට 80% බලන්න. Next එක you are. හරිද? ඕක keeps reducing. At one point it becomes zero. When it becomes zero lamai, at one point the total deposits of banking system, contracts by, this is the value lamai, total of the banking system's deposit are contracted by this deficit or shortage of reserves by, okay the lamai. Any doubt? දැන් ඔයා මේක XYZ add කරත් ළමයි 244 එනවා. Total අද ඔක්කොම ඒ කියන්නේ මේක there are so many messages. 1 minute. what happens lamai? Bank X deposits reduces by 80. Bank Y deposits, not reserves, decreases by 180, then 64. Okay, the lamai. Then in another bank, it should be 51.2. This keeps going, lamai. Continues. Okay, the lamai. Then if you add all these deposit contractions together, okay, the lamai, the value will be how much lamai? 500. Value will be 500. You get the point? This is called total deposit contraction in the banking system. Total deposit contraction in the banking system. Okay, the lamai. Right? So lamai, we can use an equation for calculating total deposit contraction. Okay, the lamai, without doing this longer process lamai. Did you get the point? We cannot do it every time lamai. Okay, I've explained that. Okay, as an example, it's correct, but in exam, how we can do this process lamai? Right? So to calculate total deposit contraction in the banking system lamai, we use the separate equation. Okay, the lamai. Can you write down the equation? This means you can calculate 500 on the spot, right? Using this equation. Okay, the lamai. The maximum, read this point, the maximum number of demand deposits or deposits to be contracted in the banking system depends on two main factors. First one, write down lamai. We can say deficit in reserves, deficit in reserves in the banking system, reserves, or we can say shortage of reserves. And second one lamai, deposit contraction multiplier. Deposit අරකෙම තමයි අරක තිබ්බේ මොකද්ද ළමයි excess reserves into deposit expansion multiplier මේකෙදිනේ shortage of reserves into deposit contraction same idea ළමයි contraction multiplier okay the ළමයි the abbreviation is A. abbreviation is K. Okay the ළමයි the number of maximum number of total deposits to be contracted can be calculated. Write down the equation lamai. Total deposit contraction equals, write down the equation. Okay, the lamai. Write down the equation. Total deposit contraction equals deposit contraction equals, we can say deficit in reserves into K. Okay, the lamai. K mean deposit contraction multiplier is calculated same way lamai. How to calculate deposit expansion multiplier? K. Write down K equals lamai 1 over R. Same equation. Okay, 1 over R. Here R mean lamai statutory reserve. Statutory reserve. අර ඩෙෆිසිට් එකට වඩා shortage කියලා දාන්න. Okay ද ළමයි? Without forget this last balance sheet. Okay, keep that part. No need. We can do a complete cover up because there's a small mistake. Okay, lamai. Shall we put that this the money creation, not creation, contraction. Money or deposit contraction process can be money contraction. Contraction can be summarized as for action. Contraction. இதெல்லாம். Forget that part also. It's a small chart lamai. You know the idea lamai. Uh, අර මේක ළමයි මම ඔය separately මේ front page මට තියලා තියෙන්නේ මේ අපිට chart එකක් ඔයා බලයි මේ මොකක්ද කියලා. එහෙමයි. ඒක ලොකු දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. දැන් අපිට මෙහෙම කරා ඔය දැන් මේ process එක අපිට මෙහෙම යන්න පුළුවන්. summarize කරන්න පුළුවන් නේද? bank X වල එහෙම නේද වෙන්නේ? bank X ඊට පස්සේ bank Y අර ඔය highlighters use කළා ඇඩ දාලා වල අර notes හදන්නේ ළමයි. අර ඉස්සෙල්ලාම වෙන්නේ bank X වල මොකද වෙන්නේ ළමයි? මෙන්න මෙහෙම reserves decrease by 100. Okay ද ළමයි? bank in bank X not reserves deposits by 100. Deposits decrease by 100. Okay ද ළමයි? Then when reserves deposits decrease ළමයි reserves also decrease by 100. Reserves also by 100. Then lamai, what happens? Then this bank has shortage of reserves. Shortage of reserves of how much lamai? 80. Shortage of reserves of 80. Okay, the lamai. Then when bank X fulfill this 80 reserves lamai, this process connects with bank Y. Clear the lamai. අරෝමෝයි process එක අපිට කනෙක්ට් කරන්න පුළුවන් නේද ළමයි. ඊට පස්සේ bank Y වල deposits මොකද වෙන්නේ ළමයි? ඒ ගානින් හරිද? එතකොට එයාගේ reserves උත් මොකද වෙන්නේ ළමයි? 80 වලින් decrease. නේද? ඊට පස්සේ ළමයි එයා මේක reserve decrease වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ එයාගේ shortage of reserves එකක්. කීයද ළමයි? එයා මේක fill කරන්න යනකොට ළමයි ඒක effect වෙනවා bank මොකටද ළමයි? Z වලට. bank Z. අර ඔන්න ඔහොම ඔයාලට මේක ලින්ක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. තමයි ටේබල් එක තියෙන්නේ. හරිද? නේද ළමයි? Are you okay ළමයි? I'm not going to do this class ළමයි. Are you okay? Shall we move on ළමයි? Shall we move on to calculations? Guys? Hello?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Munara, Ayatmi, Achini. අරුත් දරුවෝ මේවා. අය වෙලාද? සන්දීල්?
Clear, sir.
Okay, sir.
ව නේද? අකම. ඉතින් ළමයි. නේද? 7 8 9 නෙමෙයිනේ ළමයි. හරිද? තමයි. ගන්න ඕනි. එයා නේද? Okay, let's move to page number 37. The balance sheet of a banking system given banking system balance sheet banking system deposits 10,000, reserves 1,250, bonds 8,150. If this banking system has no calculate proud calculate SRR. If 500 deposits are withdrawn, calculate the maximum contraction that could take place in the banking. Prepare the balance sheet of banking system after the money contraction. Assume the currency. Let's do press part, Lamai. Tell me the SRR rate. Lamai, how much the SRR ratio? Huh? Lamai, how much the SRR ratio? Press 1. Answer for press question. Puta, I'll do second part. I'll do it, Lamai. Second one. Let's do it together. Yeah, good. Yes, Daru. Others lamai, how much? Sigma? Right, okay lamai. Question number, page number 37. Now look at the board. I want all of you look at the board. Do it. Okay, the lamai. Because here there are some adjustments. Right? Listen, listen. Example number 1. Lamai, listen. Don't do anything. Listen. Right. Okay. Right. Lamai, here, this is a balance sheet. Balance sheet of banking system, Lamai. Balance sheet of banking system. Deposits, so I'll put D. Deposits. How much? 1,000. Reserves are how much? 1,200. Loans 8,700. Okay, the lamai. Balance sheet, the banking system balance sheet. Its balance. Okay, the lamai. First question is to calculate SRR ratio. Question clearly says banking system has no excess reserve. So this reserves, if there are no excess reserves, lamai, this there are no excess reserves, this part should be required part, lamai. Okay, the lamai. It means banking system has kept held only required part. Okay, the lamai. How much the deposit? This is the answer for first one, Sachini. 1,250 required reserves for 10,000 deposits. If 1,250 is required for 10,000 deposits, how much reserves required for 100 deposits? Okay, the lamai. How much the answer? It should be 12.5. Should be 12.5. ළමයි ඔයාලට අර මේ අර equation එක කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. හරිද? අර excess reserves equals actual reserves minus statutory. ඒකේ අර R වලට මොකද්ද මේ rate එකට x හරි මොකක් හරි R හරි මොකක් හරි. ඒත් ඔයාලට 12. මං හදන්න ඕනද ළමයි ඒකටත්? නෑ නේද? ළමයි, do you want me to calculate SRR using equation also? Yes. ළමයි But I am not. Why am I not getting responses? Right. Okay. Second one. If rupees 500 deposits are withdrawn, calculate the maximum deposit contraction that could take place in the banking system. Uta, please prepare a temporary balance sheet. Uta, can you hear me? Hello? Am I?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Okay, right. Uta, prepare the balance sheet. Temporary balance sheet. Yes. Temporary balance sheet. Right? Okay. I mean, soon after 500 deposits are withdrawn. Okay, Dalamai. How to change this balance sheet? Huh? How to change this balance sheet? After, soon after. Soon after, soon after 500 deposits withdrawal. Withdrawal. Okay, Dalamai, listen. Balance sheet. Now, Lamai, 500 deposits are withdrawn, then this deposit amount decreases by 500. So, new deposit amount should be how much, Lamai? 9,500. 9,500. How did I calculate 9,500? Because original deposit amount 10,500 deposits are withdrawn. Okay, the Lamai. Then what happens to reserves, Lamai? This payment has to be made using reserves, Lamai. Then reserves amount also decreases. Okay, by how much? 500. 1,250 minus 500. Then reserve. Okay, the Lamai. Then loans at this point loan do not change. Loan amount is 8,700. Then this is the balance sheet of banking system soon after this deposit withdrawal. How much, Lamai? 9,500. 9,000. Any doubt, Lamai? But remember, Lamai, this balance sheet is totally legal. Can any one of you tell me the reason? Why this balance sheet is illegal? Oh, this we can say this balance sheet is very temporary balance sheet. Okay, I prepared this balance sheet for my easiness, Lamai. Remember, right? But this is not the valid balance sheet. Why? Can anyone tell me why?
Because there's a shortage of
Shortage, Lamai,
yes.
right? This banking system has not been able to maintain at least the minimum required reserves, Lamai. Can you calculate required reserves for 9,500 deposits? How much are required according to the law? 9,500 into 12.5. Can anyone tell me the answer? 9,500 deposits. Now you have already calculated deposit ratio, SRR ratio 12.5. 9,500 into 12.5. How much, Lamai?
1,187.5.
1,000. Thank you. 1,187.5. This is the required reserves, Lamai. Banking system has to hold 1,187.5 reserves. But now look at the reserves in your balance sheet, Lamai. How much? Sorry. This is the reserves amount, Lamai. How much? 750. Okay, Lamai. So banking system has not been able to maintain the required amount of reserves. This is the required amount of reserves, but this is the reserves after deposit withdrawal. Okay, Lamai. So remember, this is not valid balance sheet for our easiness, Lamai. For our next few the next calculations, Lamai. I've prepared this balance sheet. Okay, right. Now they ask to calculate total deposit contraction. Prepare the balance sheet. No. Calculate maximum deposit contraction that could take place in this banking system, Lamai. This is the answer for second question. How to calculate total deposit contraction? Look at the board, Lamai. This is answer for second one. Total deposit contraction. Total deposit contraction equals total deposit contraction equals, what is the equation, Lamai? We can say, Lamai, deficit, or deficit in reserves into K. K mean deposit contraction multiplier, right? How to calculate K, Lamai? Sorry. K equals 1 over R. K equals 1 over R mean SRR, Lamai. SRR, in this calculation, SRR 12.5. Your SRR will be 8, Lamai. Clear? So substitute 8. Here, Lama, you have to calculate the total deficit in reserves in the banking system, Lama. How to calculate? You can use that equation, Lama. Excess reserves equals actual reserves minus statutory reserves. Actual reserves, how much, Lama? 750, not 1250. Minus statutory part, 9500 into 12.5. Okay. Then answer is 750. Metana value එක 1100.5. I think answer should
Excuse
be.
me,
Can you
sir.
tell me the shortage in reserves, lamai? 250 plus.
For
Yes, Puta, 400.
437.5.
Sorry, Daru, 400.
37.5.
0.5. Thank you. 430.7.5. This is shortage of reserves in the bank. Excess reserves minus means shortage of reserves. No need this equation, Lama. If you are comfortable with shortcut, it's okay, right?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Daru.
K is not 8, right?
8, right? 12.5. Yes, right? 1 over, let's see, 12.5 mean percentage. 1 over 0.125. 0.5 can lamai 12.5 can 0.125. So 1 divided by 0.125. බලන්න කැලක use කර. It is 8. Isn't
Yes,
it?
sir, it's 8.
Yes, 8, yeah. So that 12.5 mean it's a percentage. 12.5 mean 0.125. Okay, the lamai 8. Okay, the lamai. Then here shortage of reserves is, or deficit in reserves in banking system, minus 437.5. Now you can tell me the total deposit contraction. How much? Can you multiply 437.5 into 8? 858. 4. 3,400.
3,500.
3,500.
Yes, sir.
3,500. Yes, 3,500. Total deposit contraction in this banking system, maximum amount of deposit contraction will be 3,500. Can you complete the question up to this point, Lama? Can you write this down? If you have any doubt, let me know. Now don't use this balance sheet, Lama. It's gone. This one, gone. Yes, this is original balance sheet. right? This is the balance sheet soon after this 500 deposit withdrawal. Okay, when calculating these deposit reserves, use the balance sheet soon after this deposit. නේද ළමයි? මේ ටික හරියට තේරුම් ගන්න ළමයි. එතකොට ඔයාලට මේ අර මේ සෙන්ටර් මොකද්ද මේ මොනිටරි පොලිසි එක nothing ළමයි. නේද? So that let me know once you have done all this calculation and
Done, sir.
that. Sitma?
Done, sir.
Done. Sandeep? Nara?
Done, sir.
Done. Right, next part. Prepare the balance sheet of banking system after the money contraction process is completed. Right? Now I am going to prepare the original balance sheet after this process is completed. Okay? That is, I mean, the balance sheet that I'm going to prepare is not the temporary balance sheet, permanent balance. Okay. Right. Look at the board. Right. Look at the board. Right. So that this balance sheet changes now. This is a balance sheet of banking system after all the adjustment. Right. Deposits. Look at the board. Total deposits. Here, 9,500 is the original value after 500 deposit withdrawal, right? 9,500. Now there is a deposit contraction of 3,500. Deposit contraction of 3,500. Deposit contraction of 3,500. Okay, the lamai. We have calculated this amount using the equation. Okay, the lamai. So after deposit contraction process, total deposit in this banking system will be how much lamai? 6,000. 6,000. Clear the lamai. Reserves. Reserves do not change. Reserves amount is 750 lamai. Reserve amount is 7. Loans. But this deposit, this 3,005. I've discussed that if there's deposit expansion, okay, the lamai. There's deposit expansion, the same value need to be added to our loans. If there's deposit contraction, reduction in deposit lamai, your loans need to be reduced by the equal amount that deposit reduces lamai. Did you get the point? So here loan amount in your balance sheet 8,750 minus 8,750 minus 3,500. So new deposit, sorry, loans in the banking system. ඇයි ළමයි මේ ඩිපොසිට් මේ මොකක්ද මේ shortage එක fill කරන්නේ කොහොමද ළමයි? loans recall කරලානේ ළමයි. ඒතකොට loans අඩු වෙනවා banking system. නේද? Uda, tell me the value here. How much? 5,000.
250.
250. හරි නේද ළමයි? Then bank the balance sheet balanced for 6,000. Okay ද ළමයි? But then now can you calculate excess reserves in the banking system? Excess reserves or shortage of reserves in the banking system? Deposits how much? 6,000 into 12.5. Can you tell me the value ළමයි? It must be 750, isn't it? How much ළමයි? Can you tell me? It is 750. Isn't it ළමයි? No?
Yes, sir.
Yes ළමයි. 750. නේ? දැන් banking system එකේ ළමයි excess reserves උත් නැහැ shortage of reserves. මේකේ theory එක තමයි ළමයි excess reserves නැති වෙලාවක banking system. හරිද? withdrawal එකක් වුණොත් ලියද ළමයි? එක තැනකින් ඒක නතර වෙන්නේ නැහැ ළමයි. එන එක තියෙනවා මේක දිගට යනවා. ඕක නතර වෙන්නේ ළමයි banking system එකේ deposits ගොඩක් අඩු කරලා ළමයි. ක්ලියර්ද? ඕකට කියනවා deposit contraction. අර අපිට හිතෙන්නේ දැන් ඕක සාමාන්‍ය කෙනෙකුට කිව්වනම් එයාලට හිතෙන්නේ ඕක 500 වලින් right වැඩේ ඉවරයි. නෑ එහෙම මම කියන එක තේරෙනවද? මේක ලොකු process එකක්. ක්ලියර්ද? හරිද? සිප්ම හරිද ළමයි? ළමයි are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Right. Next one, last part. Assuming that, be careful, Lamai, okay? Look at the board. Last part, huh? Assume that currency held by general public 1,500. How does money supply changes after the money creation process completed? Look at the board, Lamai. I'll do that part. Can you calculate money supply before? Can you calculate money supply before the deposit contraction process, or can you calculate money supply at the beginning, Lamai? Beginning of this question, money supply. M equals CP plus, we can say deposits, Lamai. No issue. Deposits. CP given, how much, Lamai? 1,500. 1,500 plus deposits. When are deposits, Lamai? How much? 10,000. This is the total money supply. 11,500 in the banking system. Sorry, total money supply in the economy. 11,500. Now look at the board, Lamai. After these all adjustments, look at the board. M money supply equals CP plus deposit. CP plus deposit. Look at the board, Lamai. CP, how much the value? Be careful. Can you tell me the total CP now? Currency held by general public. Anyone? How much is currency held by general public now? Sandil? Coins and notes held by general public. How much lamai? 1,500 ni තිබුණේ ළමයි. 1,500 ni තිබුණේ. ඇයි ළමයි දැන් එක්කෙනෙක් ඇවිල්ලා withdrawal එකක් කරා නේද 500. දැන් එයායි සල්ලි අරගෙන ගෙදරට යන්නේ ළමයි. ඒ කියන්නේ මාර deposits තිබ්බ එක convert වෙනවා CP වලට ළමයි. 500 විතරයි. ඕකේද ළමයි? එතකොට CP 500 වලින් increase වෙන්න ඕනේ. Clear the word? CP, because someone has come and withdrawn 500 deposits into cash. Okay, the lamai. 500 deposits converted into cash. Cash means CP. the currency held by general public. දැන් අහන්න එපා ඉතුරු ටික 9500 sorry අර 3005 නෑ. ඒ 3500 contraction එක වෙන්නේ banking system එක ඇතුලේ ළමයි. ඒක CP වලට impact එකක් නෑ. clearද? හැබැයි අර original initial deposit එක withdraw කරනවා. එයා ඒක the deposit holder කෙනෙක් ඇවිල්ලානේ ඒක withdraw කරන්නේ. එතකොට එයා ඒක ගෙදර අරන් යන්නේ. එයා වැඩේ කරලා යනවා ළමයි. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි අර වැඩේ පටන් ගන්න banking system එක ඇතුලේ. මම හිතන්නේ ඔයාලට තේරෙනවා. clearද ළමයි? හරිද? 500 වලින් CP increase වෙන්න ඕන. හරිද? plus deposits තමයි මෙන්න මේක එහෙම use කරන්න එපා. හරිද? ඒක is wrong. මම කිව්වේ මේක temporary balance sheet එක මේක use කරන්න එපා. හරිද? ඔයාගේ original balance sheet එකේ මෙන්න deposits ලා. How much? Deposit amount is 6000. Clearද ළමයි? Then total money supply is 2000 here plus 6000. Total money supply is 8. Then you can see ළමයි the money supply has decreased by 3500. මොකද doubt එකක් තියෙනවද ළමයි? You can say money supply has reduced by how much ළමයි? 3000. උනාර අයත්මි ටිකද බලන්න පුතා? සිත්ම එකක් තියෙනවද?
Yes, sir.
කිය නේද? right. ඔක දැන් practice ඕක තමයි contraction. අර ඕක ළමයි දැන් මේක ටිකක් අර accidentally වෙන එකක් නේ. කෙනෙක් ඇවිල්ලා එකක් ගෙදර අරන් යනවා. ඉතින් එයා අරන් ගියාට පස්සේ banking system එකේ නේද? story එකක්. ඕක ළමයි දැන් මේකේ අන්තිමට වෙන්නේ money supply එක decrease වෙන එක. දැන් ඕක central bank එක purposely කරනවා. එයාට හිතුනොත් money supply එක වැඩි කියලා economy අර ඉන්ෆ්ලේෂන් එහෙම කන්ට්‍රෝල් කරන්න money supply එක reduce කරන්න. එතකොට central bank එක කරන්නේ artificially deposit shortage එකක් හදනවා banking system එකට කතා කරමු ගන්න කියලා. එයාට පුළුවන් deposit shortage එකක් හදන්න. deficit in reserve. එතකොට ඒ reserves කාර cover කරන්න ඒක fill කරන්න banking system try කරනකොට ළමයි banking system එකේ deposits මොකද අඩු වෙනවා. අඩු වෙන්නේ පොඩ්ඩකින් නෙමෙයි. ඕකේද ළමයි? by multiple times. that equals k. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ මේක central bank එක purposely මේ වැඩේ කරනවා ළමයි. money supply එක reduce කරන්න banking system. හරි ඒක කරන්නේ ළමයි අර treasury bills treasury bonds transaction. ඒකට කියනවා අපි open market operation. open market operations කියන්නේ monetary policy instrument. ඒකයි මම කිව්වේ මේකේ calculation එක හරියට ඇල්ලුවොත් ඔයාට ළඟ lesson එක හරි ලේසි. අර කටපාඩම් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඔක කිව්වහම ඔයාලට තේරෙනවා. හරිද? බලන්න මොන හරි issue එකක් තියෙනවද කියනවද කියලා. හරිද ළමයි? Those who have completed example number 1 can start example. I think similar question ළමයි. Example number 3 is a past paper question. I think it's 2008 or 7 bit older one. Okay the ළමයි. Example number 3. Example number 2. Right, let's do it ළමයි. Send me a photo ළමයි after completing example number. I'll give you. අයත්මි සචිනී වැරදුනාට කමන්නේ හදන්න. තව කවදාවත් ඉගෙන ගන්න.
Example number 2 no?
2. Example number 2. Okay, lamai. Need more time? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry about share capital. The money invested by shareholders. For that, prepare the temporary balance sheet. Okay, but be careful. Okay, the lamai. That is not temporary one. Sorry, permanent one. Okay, so in exam lama, it's better to prepare as workings lamai. Okay, the lamai. Or in pencil. I mean, soon after 25 million, the withdrawal, deposit withdrawal. Prepare the balance sheet soon after the deposit withdrawal, but it's very temporary. For easiness, you can prepare a balance. Lamai, now it's enough, right? Time.
1 minute, say 1 minute.
Right. Example number 2. Page number 37 and 30. Right. Balance sheet, original balance sheet of the banking system given. Okay, Lamai. Deposits 2000. I'll use D, yeah? Deposits. Share capital. Share capital also. I mean, Lamai, this bank has raised funds through two sources. 200 from deposit holders, other 200 from owner shareholders. Okay, Lamai. Anyway, total liability value is 4,000. Now, reserves and securities. Reserves.
I can't hear you.
Okay, the Lamai. Right. Securities 1,500. This means Lamai bank has invested 1,500 funds on risk. And the last asset is loans. 2,400. Okay, the Lamai. Balance sheet balance 4,000. Okay, the Lamai. Sandeep. First question is, if the banking system operates under the 5%, calculate the excess reserves in the banking system. I think no excess reserves. I don't know. Right. Answer for first question. You can use excess reserves equation. Excess reserve equals actual reserves minus statutory. Actual reserves 100 Lamai minus statutory reserves. Statutory reserves 2000. Puta, remember when calculating the statutory reserve, right? We need to consider only deposit amounts. Central bank, remember, ask commercial banks to keep 5% of deposits as reserves, right? Of deposits, not all money that they have raised. No, right? Only 2,000 into 5%. 100 ne lamai. Actual reserves 100, statutory also 100, so no excess reserves. Am I correct, Lamai? Punara, Sitma?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Correct, sir.
correct. Then second one, if 25 deposits are withdrawn by deposit holders, calculate the maximum deposit contraction that could take place in the banking system. assume that all loans recalled by the banks to resort reserves. ඔන්න ළමයි. ඔයාලට මේක clear දැන් අපිට බලන්න. දැන් මේකේ එහෙම shortage එකක් ආවොත් එහෙම හරිද? මෙයාලට දැන් දැන් there's a shortage of reserves ළමයි, they have to fulfill it, right? They have to the the balance or the balance the required reserves ළමයි. Now they have two methods to fulfill this reserve requirement ළමයි. What are the two methods? Number one, recalling loans. There is another method ළමයි. They can sell government securities in the secondary market. Remember, okay ළමයි, there are two methods now. Okay, but question says us to imagine, okay ළමයි, the banks or the banking system is going to fulfill this shortage of reserves using the method of recalling loans. Why you all, what happens ළමයි, why you all leaving? Okay, I'll check it. Right. Now 25% million deposits are withdrawn lamai. Then you can prepare a temporary balance sheet soon after this deposit withdrawal lamai. Okay. This is the balance sheet. Remember, this is very temporary balance sheet and also it's valid. I'm preparing this balance sheet for my ease. Okay, the lamai. It will help us to complete other parts of the question, right? Now lamai, deposits, total deposits value 2000. Now lamai, 25 deposits are withdrawn. Okay, the lamai, after deposit withdrawal, total deposit should be 1975. Okay, the lamai, and reserves lamai, reserves also decrease. Okay, the lamai, reserves original value is 100 minus 25, because reserves when deposits are withdrawn, bank has to pay that amount using reserves lamai. So reserves amount also decrease up to 70. Clear the lamai. Then share capital doesn't change lamai. No any impact. It's 2000. And reserve 75. Securities no change in security value is 1500 amount, 1500. And loans, the last one is loans. Loans also do not change at the beginning. Soon after deposit withdrawal, so total loan amount should, right? Then balance sheet, balance, how much lamai? So that, can you tell me the 3907, right? 3920. This is the temporary balance sheet after the deposit withdrawal. Now lamai, prepare, calculate the shortage of reserves in the banking system. Okay, the lamai, shortage of reserves in the banking system. You can use that excess reserves equation. Excess reserves equals actual reserves minus statutory reserves. Actual reserves now 75 after this deposit withdrawal, 75 minus statutory part should be lamai 1975 into how much lamai? Itma 5%, right? Then actual 75, Pata, can you tell me the value here? 1975 into 5%. 90. Can you tell me the value, Daru? How much?
98.75.
Good. 98.75. 98 point. This is the required amount, Lamai, but this is the actual reserves in the banking. Actual reserves is less than what is required. Okay. So here the shortage of reserves is 20 point. 23.7. Now, Lamai, definitely there will be deposit contraction in the banking system. You can calculate maximum deposit contraction using the equation. Okay, the Lamai. What is the equation? Deposit contraction equals contraction equals shortage of reserves, shortage of reserves, or we can say deficit in reserves, deficit in into K, Lamai. Deficit how much in the banking system? 23.75 into, you have to calculate K separately. How much the value of K? Use the equation, Lamai. K equals, sorry Puta, K equals 1 over K equals SRR 5%. 1 over 5% means 0.05. 1 over 0.05 in R should be 20. Am I correct, Lamai? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then 3.75 into 20. Puta, can you tell me the value here?
475.
475. This is the total deposit contraction in the banking system. Now you can prepare the balance sheet. I think it's maximum deposit contraction. Sorry. Prepare the balance sheet of banking system after money contraction process complete. Okay, the Lamai. Now you can prepare the balance sheet. Balance sheet. Okay, the Lamai. Puta, now this one is gone, right? It's not the, now it's not in the, not the valid one. It's gone. Finish. Right? Use this one. Now deposits value is how much, Lamai? 1975 minus, there is deposit contraction of how much, Lamai? 475. Right? Then deposit contraction, sorry, after deposit contraction, total deposit in the banking system will be how much, Lamai? 1500. Okay. And reserves do not change, Lamai. Reserves should be 75. Securities no change. Securities 1500. Same value should be adjusted to your loans as well. Okay, the Lamai. Loans, original loans amount 2500. Now that amount reduces by 475. The total loan amount would be how much, Lamai? 1925. Okay, the Lamai. Then here, sorry, share capital there, ne? Share capital. Then Lamai, balance sheet will be balanced to 3500. Hari the Lamai. Hari ne? 2000 with 3000. Okay, the Lamai. This is the total deposit in the banking system, Lamai. This is the original deposit amount. This is the new deposit amount after all adjustments are made. Okay, the Lamai. Any doubt? Any problem. Next one, assume that currency held by general public is 800 million. How does money supply change after money creation completed? Okay, Dalama, you can calculate money supply before and after this deposit. I'll remove this one, Lamai. Practice. Money supply equals CP plus deposits. Before the at original point, Lamai, CP 1000. Sorry, 800, right? Not 1000. 800. And bank deposits in the original balance sheet, Lamai, how much the deposit amount? Then money supply is, Lamai, how much? 2800. 2000. Clear the Lamai? Then Lamai, money supply after all these adjustments are made. Money supply equals CP plus deposits, Lamai. Deposits. CP, how much Lamai? 800 plus. Now Lamai, 25 deposited funds are moving to CP, currency held by general public. Because this withdrawn value of 25 is owned by general public right now. Okay, Lamai. So total CP should be 825 plus deposit value is 1000. Okay, Lamai. So money supply would be 825 plus 1500 mean how much Lamai? 2000, 2320. Okay, the Lamai. Then you can see money supply has decreased by how much? Money supply has decreased by value is Lamai 2320. Sorry. Money supply decreased by 475. 475 mean Lama your deposit contraction value which is given by your equation. Any doubt, Lama? Any problem? Sitma, Ara, Yakni?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Sitma, some what is 3500? Sitma, මොකක්ද අවුල මට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොකක්ද ඉෂුව එක? ඇයි ඔය CP වලට 475 add කරලා තියෙන්නේ?
Yes.
ඇයි ඔය 475 add කරලා තියෙන්නේ CP වලට? When calculating new money supply? 800 plus 475? What does it mean?
No, I forgot.
It should be 25, right? No?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Let me know once you are done, Lamai. I mean, once all writing are completed, tell me.
Done, sir.
Okay, Lamai, we've completed the money contraction banking system. Uda, how does this deposit contraction process take place? If reserves are withdrawn, under the situation of there is no excess. හරිද? හරියටම ඒ කියන්නේ excess reserves නැති වෙලාවක reserves decrease වුණොත් තමයි අනිවාර්යයෙන් මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ ළමයි? Multiple deposit contraction එක. Clear? my equation again then my maximum value. The maximum value of deposit contraction. 475 example like a maximum value of contraction. But in reality, Lamai, this actual deposit contraction may be less than 475 because of not fulfilling all assumptions that we have made. Okay, the Lamai. Because this 475, that value, that the maximum deposit contraction, if all assumptions in money creation or contraction process are fulfilled. But in reality, Lamai, some assumptions are not fulfilled, Lamai. You get the point? So the actual deposit contraction is less than what your equal. Okay, the Lamai. That is another part. Okay, the Lamai, you can do example number 3 as homework. Take time and do it. Right? Please go through today note and go. Okay, the Lamai. Right? Lamai, next month, January, second week. Okay, the Lamai. By January 2nd, by or third week, Lamai, again, you will be given a test. Okay, for only this lesson. Okay, the Lamai. There are 2 tudes more. This is we are in the last part of this. Next week, Lamai, I'll be starting central bank and monetary policy, Sri Lanka. It will take Lamai 3 days, 7 to 8 hours to complete with past papers. Then Lamai last part is inflation price level. That is also part of last part of money and bank. Okay, the Lamai small part, small tude. I think it will take 2 or 3. No. Yeah, maximum 3 days with past papers. Some past papers. All. Then Lamai after the lesson, you will be given another test because it's much complicated lesson, Lamai. Okay, many students go hard. Okay, the Lamai. I think, and also Lamai, I believe that giving papers lesson to lesson and testing your knowledge at one time, Lamai. Okay, I mean after 3 months, I think it's better to give a paper after one. Get the point? Is what I realized after checking your papers, right? Marking your. Yeah, that's end of the money contraction process and calculation. Come on, do example number 3 as homework. I'm not going to. Okay, the Lamai. If you have any doubt, let me. Okay, Lamai, that's enough today. Of course, it will be a tough process. Okay, Punara, it's not easy, but anyway, it's my responsibility. I'll do it. Okay. We are a bit, behind the process. I mean, because we started this class after a few months. There's a reason. Anyway, I'll do the part, all lessons will be completed. Okay, the Lamai. But we have to work hard, Lamai. That is not process. Now in December is over. Khuda, if we can complete money and banking now, it's over. I mean, like 60% completed. If we can complete international trade and finance, I mean, international trade and foreign finance, hardest part of the syllabus is over. Okay, the Lamai. Other lessons are very small parts. Right. And production lesson will be completed by joining your batch and one batch together. Okay, otherwise time won't be. Okay, the Lamai. Yes. Okay, Lamai. That's enough today. Thank you for coming. Right. See you tomorrow.
The production machine mean fourth one.
Unit number 4. Yes. Okay, the Lamai. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No. Okay, Lamai. Bye.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye
Good
bye.
night,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good
Good
night,
night. Bye.
sir.